G'day everyone, how are we today? Hope you're doing great. Today we have a laptop repair and this just came in. It's a Lenovo laptop. It's only about a year or two old, and the customer says it'll turn on and they'll start to use it, and then the screen will just go blank. And currently it is actually turned on. It's doing exactly like he said. It's just blank. I've tried turning it on a few times, and then I actually got it to give me a picture, and then I saw some funny lines. Yeah, see, it's working this time. And we'll see if it'll do it again. And it doesn't seem to matter what you're doing, it'll happen. So I was actually trying to get this thing to boot up to do a memory test. So I might try that again now that it seems to be working. I'll just turn it off again. So I'm just hoping it'll show you guys what's going on. Alright, it's actually going into the memory test now. So we'll do a memory test, but yeah, I actually saw some funny coloured lines one time when I did get it to work, and this is a classic symptom of memory failure, mainly because laptops, they actually use the system memory to drive the graphics. So if there's a problem with your system memory, it can actually come out and show graphical problems and distortions, or no picture at all, because well, there it goes, boom, gone. So this is what the customer says is going on. So let's find out why that's happening. My gut feeling is it could be the memory, maybe just dust or a fault. I can't seem to get it to stay on long enough to find out if it's a memory fault, but it could also just be heat. That's another reason laptops can do this, is they get too hot, and then they just cut out. But as you can see, when it does do this, the power light stays on. He said it started about 3 days ago, and it's been doing it ever since. So let's stop yabbering on, and let's open the back of it and have a look and just see how dusty it is and whether that might be the problem. Alright, let's switch camera angles and we'll have a look.
Oh, I have a bad feeling about this.
Alright, let's just follow standard procedures when we're doing laptops, and we'll undo the back of it first. Looks like it's got about 10 screws on the back. Alright, and then the good old guitar pick that from iFixit, not sponsored, just they're good products. And just run around the edges until it lets go. Do not push it in too far. You don't want to break anything, and do not use metal. You will almost certainly break something if you do that. Alright, lid is off. Okay, so this is what we have. I can see a little bit of dust down on the fan there. So it's a little bit of dust sitting on the fan, but I'm not seeing any blocking. So nothing really severe that makes me think this is a dust problem or a heat problem. So we might have to, we'll just clean it all, and I will just clean the contacts. I won't do the heatsink just yet. I just want to see if cleaning the memory contacts first helps. But I do want to get that dust out of there. So I'll just get my trusty paintbrush. It seems to be just surface dust. Like, it hasn't really got right into the heatsink. It comes off pretty easy. I'm gonna get my blower. Make sure you don't let the fan spin when you do this. Now that's interesting, that just came out. A little sticker off something. Possibly it was getting jammed. I've had that happen where stickers come off and get jammed. Now that the fan's clean, I want to get this memory out, but I'm not going to do it while the battery is hooked. So I'm going to disconnect this battery. It's just too risky otherwise. So it looks to have only like 3 screws and a little bit of a pry. And it's one of these annoying connectors that don't come out easy. There we go, gotcha. All right, so we are clear of battery power. One thing I've noticed on this model is it has soldered RAM as well as a module. If it's the soldered RAM that's the problem, there's not much I'm going to be able to do about that, because I am not kitted for desoldering and resoldering memory onto circuit boards. That is a job of someone who repairs boards and has a proper soldering station and microscope. I don't have that sort of stuff, so if that's what it ends up being, he's out of luck. He's out of luck with me anyway. If it's just this module here, that's not a big deal. It can be replaced, although with the RAM prices the way they are, it's not going to be a cheap repair.
And there's millions and millions and millions of dollars of damage here.
Alright, so what I want to do is just take the RAM out and inspect it, and for anything obvious, and I don't see any scorching or anything like that. This RAM looks pristine, but it doesn't mean dust hasn't got into it, or humidity can sometimes cause this sort of problem. So regardless of what it looks like, what I'm going to do now is just clean the contacts with alcohol. It's all nice and clean, and then I'll do the slot as well. And then just give it a bit of a dry. So now we've cleaned the slot, given it a bit of a dry as well, and we'll reinsert it. And now I want to retest and see what happens. So what I'm going to do is just pop this lid, unclick. I'm not going to click it in. I'm just going to so we can sit the laptop on top of it. And I'm going to plug the memory tester in again because I want to try and get a memory test complete on this thing. And we'll have to plug mains power to it because the battery is disconnected. We have a flashing power light now. Is it saying it won't turn on because there's no battery? That's not normal. It shouldn't be an issue. This might be indicating what I suspect. I'm just going to actually now plop it like that so I can see whether, and I actually can feel there's warmth in the heatsink here, which means it actually is powering on. Yep, it's warm. So I'm just going to plug it in again, and I just want to see if the fan spins briefly when I first turn it on. Yep, it does. Okay. And then, oh, it's turning on now. What the? Okay. That's weird.
Weird, buddy. You're weird.
All right. So it's starting to do the memory test. This is so strange. I wonder how far it's going to get before it turns off again. So while it's sitting like this, it seems to be working. But then if I lay it down, oh, it's gone. The heatsink does feel quite warm. So now I'm wondering if it is an overheat. Let's just try and cool this off. What I'll do, if I spray a bit of and then cool it. That'll chill it right off. Yep, so that's cooled right off now. All right, so if I turn it on now, let's see if it'll boot. Here we go. Power. No, it did not make a difference. Like, it's not coming up. It's a positional thing. Okay. So while I got it like this, it'll work, but I betcha if I move something. And now it's making a liar of me. Look, I'm moving it and it's not. No, it's not that. It's not positional. Twisting. No, I'm not twisting. What on earth? Oh, hey, I saw it. And hopefully you saw that too. We had green blocks coming up on the screen. That's 100% a memory issue. I'd say we have a faulty memory. So this is a 4 gig stick of 3200 Samsung RAM. Let's see if I've got any in stock. So I'm just going to put this aside so it doesn't get mixed up with other stuff. So I've got my RAM collection here. Let's see what we got in here. And look at that. I have a 4 gig stick of 3200 Samsung, basically identical to what they had. It's even from a Lenovo. Yep, it's a Lenovo. So there you go. Let's just pop this in. Okay, so we've got the fresh RAM in there. Let's see what happens, whether the problem goes away. If we can complete a full mem test without it turning off, then it's fixed. Turns on. Okay, do we get a picture straight away? No picture. This is looking really bad now because that means it's the soldered RAM that's the problem. Actually, I'm forgetting something. So maybe the reason why it doesn't come up straight away is because when you take the battery off and take power off completely, it actually resets the whole motherboard BIOS settings, and often it takes longer for the laptop to turn on and show a picture. So it's quite likely that's what's going on, and I'm just not giving it enough time. Silly me. All right, we'll try again. We'll wait this time and give it a chance. Now we just can't get anything, just nothing. Okay, I'm just going to remove the RAM I put in. So we're just going to run with no RAM. See what happens. No RAM, just onboard soldered RAM. Nothing else. But we're on. Interesting. Okay. This was taken out of another Lenovo, so it is possible that it's faulty. Okay, well, let's just try letting this run with just the onboard RAM, and if it passes through the whole test, then that means I may have another dodgy stick of RAM in my stock, and then I can try another one and see if it works. Alright, let's let this go and hopefully we win. Looking good so far. This is the furthest it's gone actually, I think. So we'll keep it going and then I'll come back to you if something changes.
A few moments later.
Alright everyone, well, after a bit the test went blank again, unfortunately. So, and that was without having the memory module plugged in, running purely off these memory modules, and it's still turning off. Which means there's only two possibilities. We're overheating, so that's going to be the next thing I'm doing. I'm going to take the heatsink off and have a look. Or there is some kind of issue with the soldered memory, which would be the worst outcome because I'm limited in what I can do there. I will probably attempt to heat treat them. What that involves is putting some flux on the chips and then just heating them until, hoping that the solder will reflow and connect if that's what's happened, if there's like a minor solder break on the RAM and causing the issue. But if that doesn't resolve it, then yeah, the only option is, well, there's three options. Take it to electronics and get them to do it properly, replace the motherboard, which will be very expensive, or just get a new laptop. Anyway, let us check the heatsink first, because if it is overheating, then that would explain everything. Alright, so there is paste there. It's not like there's no paste, and the paste is not hard. It's actually got some pastiness to it, so it's looking more like it's those RAM modules or RAM chips. But I'll clean it up and repaste it and test again. But I'm already getting bad feelings that this is going to be worst case, which is pretty crummy for a laptop. It's only like a year or two old. You know, you'd expect it to last a bit longer without issue. You know, if it was like 5 years old, I probably wouldn't complain too much. But it isn't 5 years old, it's much younger than that. So we'll put on some MX6 here. Remember, always screw down in diagonals so that you get a nice even surface touching the chip. Alright, we'll try again. Let's see if we get a picture. I personally don't think it is heat, but I'm willing to be wrong. We got a picture straight away, that's a start. Let's see what happens. It seems to be turning on straight away now, which is, I guess, better. But I don't trust computers, they trick me.
You're trying to trick me into giving away something. It won't work.
And away it goes. Alright, so I'm going to leave this again because it took a while to fail last time. But we'll leave it going and see what happens. Interestingly enough, the soldered... Oh, that was very fast. It's gone again. Yep. It's something to do with the motherboard. Alright, alright, we're going to have to get the motherboard out anyway, regardless, because I can't do any soldering work with the motherboards installed. It'll give us a chance to inspect the board as well and see if there's anything funny with it. But yeah, it's not memory, not heat, so we're running out of options. So I'll get to pulling out the motherboard and then we'll have a look at it. So whenever I pull out a motherboard, I like to look for any liquid spills, scorch marks, things like that. So far I'm not seeing anything. I did spot just here a little piece of plastic, which is one of the welds for holding in the keyboard. So a weld has popped right there. That's where it's come from, I think. So that tells me that there's been a bit of pressure applied there at some point and it's popped it. So this is the motherboard. There's not much to a laptop motherboard these days. They're tiny. But yeah, this is where I'll be just checking it over to see if I can spot anything. But without a microscope, you can't really get in depth. You can only look for the obvious, but I am not seeing anything. And all the USB ports don't look damaged; they look fine. Because that's another thing that can happen is people shove in USBs the wrong way and damage them, and that causes shorts and things like that. But none of that is looking like the case, so I'm only left with one option, which is to heat treat the board and the memory and the slot and just see if it makes any difference at all.
Some chump has run the data lines right through the power supply. Amateur hour. I've got tears in my eyes.
Alright everyone, so I've gone ahead off camera and taken the board out and put some flux into the memory chips that are soldered on, and then I've actually heated it and tried to reflow those, hoping that it's just some kind of solder contact problem with those chips because the board got flexed or something like that. If there's what they call rip pads underneath those memory chips, or the solder balls didn't reflow properly, then it's not going to fix it. And there's still a possibility there's some other issue going on with the motherboard that's causing this whole problem. But just the way on the screen we're getting some like green artifacts, it usually indicates memory, graphical memory, but because this is a laptop, the graphical memory is actually taken from system memory, so it would point to these RAM chips being the problem. I guess fingers crossed that it worked, otherwise the customer has a difficult decision to make as to what he's going to do. But anyway, let's see if what I did helped, or whether it's still the same problem. Alright, well I haven't successfully got a full memory test complete on this laptop, so that's the standard we're looking for. Well, it finally happened. I ran the mem test and it's actually showing the failures. So there you go, it just proves the onboard RAM is faulty, and that's what's causing all the problems, which is what I initially was guessing, but I couldn't get it this far to conclude that that's what it was going on. But as you can see, yeah, we're getting the red error message underneath in that area, and it's failing. It's staying on long enough to fail. So yeah, there we have it. The conclusive answer is the memory chip is faulty on the motherboard, and this is where soldered on memory sucks, because when it is a module, you can just replace the module if it fails, and then your laptop works. When it's soldered to your motherboard, if it fails, unless you're an electronics repairman and have spare memory chips to replace it with, you're screwed. Unless you're going to replace the whole motherboard, and most people ain't going to do that. So what happens? People generally buy another laptop because they don't have an option. So yeah, I'll ring the customer now and then just ask them what they want to do. But at least now I've got like evidence that it's the memory is faulty on this thing, 100%. Yeah, it's out of my ability to fix, unfortunately. So that's where this video is going to end. So that's it for this video. Unfortunately, it's not a win. Customers going to have to weigh up what they want to do. But it's a trend with these laptop manufacturers to do this sort of thing, make it difficult to repair, so you're forced to replace them or spend lots of money. I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for watching to the end, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.